Hey team, Grant up here. We've had a lot of questions about the M3E and the Matrice 4E, just the differences between the two. This M3E was like the standard, I think, when we saw it come out. It's been a workhorse. It's a great drone. The smart controller is amazing. DroneDeploy on that smart controller was even better. The cool part about the Matrice 4E is just another step in evolution, kind of in new hardware. So we're really excited. We're out here on a huge job. This is like 140 plus acres to really put it through its paces. We wanted to see what this new Matrice 4E was going to look like, how it performed. We just opened up for the smart controller, so you can actually fly this with the DroneDeploy app, which is really exciting too, and kind of see the differences between these three. I'm going to really highlight three things specifically that I've seen about these is really the size, the controller, and the battery life. That's really going to be the three things that we're going to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first on the size, obviously you can see that it's much bigger. You wouldn't actually notice this when you look at the pictures, but you can actually see here the differences between these two are actually pretty significant. This one, the M3E has a 5,000 milliamp battery. The Matrice 4E has a 6,700, which we'll talk about a little bit about just the battery sizes too. But the first thing you'll notice is just the size. That's really the interesting thing. It doesn't feel that much bigger, but it does feel bigger enough that it's obviously going to take up more room if you're traveling with it, or if you needed something that's a little bit bigger. That's just one thing that I wanted to know. If you haven't noticed already, or in your research that you've been doing, you'll notice that the RTK module is actually fixed on the Matrice 4E. That's actually really interesting because you cannot take it off of the Matrice 4E. You can take it off of the M3E, and the big part of that that folks really wanted to do on the M3E was add other accessories and different attachments. For us out here in the mapping scenario, it really doesn't matter. We're really wanting this thing to be fixed. The really exciting part about it being fixed on the Matrice 4E is that you can add things like the parachute and not really get in the way of the RTK puck, which is also really exciting. So just the first thing that we wanted to note was the size. They're a little bit different. We're actually going to talk about the size difference a little bit too when we get into the controller as well. So let's take a look at that. All right, so similar to the size on the actual drone itself, the controllers are probably where you're going to notice the biggest difference. The Matrice 4E has a significantly bigger controller. This is actually the DJI RC Plus 2. Try saying that 10 times fast, but this is actually a really interesting controller. It's huge. That's probably one of the first things you're going to notice when you take this out of the box, is just to see how big it is. I personally like the DJI RC Pro, which is what the M3E comes with. It just feels like the right size. It feels like really everything you need. There's a ton more buttons on the Matrice 4E. For good point, this is obviously a multifunctional enterprise drone, which is just exciting to see. But I think in our case, where we're really just using the DroneDeploy app, we're going out here and flying a big job site. That's the thing that I don't know that I need this, but it is nice to have. I did notice it's actually pretty bright and sunny out here. The DJI RC Plus 2, it actually has a little bit better screen brightness. So if that's something of consideration for you, just something to also kind of note when you're thinking about it. But again, when we talk about the size differences, not only on the drone, but on the controller itself, it is substantially bigger. But I think I'm good to go with the standard M3E controller. Just feels like a really great controller still, and I think it gets the job done. So next we're going to talk about a little bit of the flight time. So the flight time was also really interesting here. We noticed on this job in particular, same altitude, really same area that we're covering, about 140 acres. The Matrice 4E actually did it in 18 minutes compared to the 40 minutes that it took the M3E. Now, obviously a lot of factors are going to contribute to that, wind speed, altitude, all those things are going to really play a factor in it. But I was actually very blown away at the difference between these two. I really didn't think it would be that significant. I really didn't think that our pre-programmed kind of estimate of how long it was going to take was going to be that accurate. And it actually was. I was very impressed. It was flying pretty consistently at about 33 miles an hour, which is also very impressive. It's not incredibly windy here today, but I just was very impressed. The Mavic 3 Enterprise, that was the flight that was flying on that, it estimated at about 40 minutes for this 140 acre at about 300 feet. And it usually did, I talked to the pilot here, it actually does kind of average around that 35-minute time frame. So that is probably the most significant change that we saw in difference of testing these two. And so if flight time is a big consideration, if you're flying a very large site like this, those minutes can add up. Obviously, that's something to take into account when you're looking at new pieces of hardware, but I can tell you and validate that we did fly this, and I was very impressed at the consistency and the speed, how fast in which it was flying, and the results that came about it. So something to kind of consider as you're looking at this and continuing to evaluate your hardware. So in kind of conclusion here, it really is going to come down to whatever your kind of needs are within your fleet. I would say if you have an M3E, you're probably going to be good in this kind of upgrading round. If some of those things that I mentioned as far as the battery, the controller, the flight speed, which is also really interesting too, yeah, then maybe it is worth considering going up to the Matrice 4E. I'm really excited that the Enterprise drone series continue to really just make way for becoming the standard, I think, out on these jobs. The smart controllers alone just make this feel like a much more enterprise version or a piece of equipment that you're flying out here. And it's crazy to think 2 years ago we didn't have either of these drones, to see how far along we've come to really make that a better use out here to capture your job. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have other questions, comments, leave it in the notes below. We'd be curious to follow up on questions that you have. If you do have this and you are a DroneDeploy user, I would encourage you to join the beta. Give us some feedback on the flight application. All the flight modes are supported, just in case you were kind of waiting or curious around that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.